JLB. Now, I said in the last video that I might do a video of my reactions to the 1984 CES, but unfortunately that changed because out of the CES videos I could find from '84, none of them featured video games. Mostly because of the video game crash of 1983 practically killing off the market. So we're going to jump ahead by 4 years to the Summer CES of 1987. But this is probably going to be a one-shot video because this mostly focuses on one company, Atari. Yeah, we're dominant in the late 70s, early 80s, but after the video game crash, not so much. Anyway, let's get started.
Introducing the new Atari.
What a turnaround Jack Tramiel has wrought at Atari. Video game pioneer Atari rebounds. Finally into the black.
A big name in high tech is back in the news, and for a change, the news is good.
We're back and better than ever. The new Atari
Showing off the Atari 2600 Junior, the XE, the Atari 7800.
In the high-tech worlds of both personal computers and video games. When Jack Tramiel and team took over the company,
The new chairman, founder of the computer company Commodore, Jack Tramiel.
But so was our determination. And the results have been nothing short of amazing. For 1986, our sales were up 82% to 258.
Yeah, they do a lot. They're doing sales videos.
To $44 million.
Yeah, CES was mostly about selling off products as well as talking about products and showing them off.
Making its debut on the American Stock Exchange to an enthusiastic reception from investors and investment professionals alike. Today, the new Atari is a major force in the computer industry, both here and abroad, and is capitalizing on the resurgence of video games as America's #1 game maker. And the new Atari's lean, aggressive management team remains firmly committed to providing consumers with the most product for the least amount of money. Or as we said in our recent print campaign for the 520 ST and the 1040 ST. Introducing technology so advanced,
The Atari
it's
ST.
affordable.
I'm pretty sure
And our
people in the
ST
80s had a computer like this growing up.
InfoWorld called them the best hardware value of the year. And added, from here on, you better think of Atari as a major player in the computer game. Microtimes stated that the ST was faster and with greater graphics capabilities than an IBM AT. And Byte magazine wrote, the ST is an amazing bargain, much more a computer for the rest of us than Mac ever was. And for 1987, ST prices are lower than ever. Consumers have been equally enthusiastic around the world, including the technologically demanding Germans, who have made the ST the leading personal computer in all of Germany.
So Germany likes Atari's
Right now,
computers.
there are over 700 software programs available for the ST, and dozens of new titles from leading companies are being introduced every month. And it doesn't end here. New and powerful STs are on the drawing boards now that bring sophisticated new applications to the world of personal computing. Here's how we're telling the consumer the exciting ST power without the price story.
The chairman of Atari has a motto he'd like us to follow. So Atari is going to show you that despite its image, IBM charges too much for the memory it gives you. That Apple Macintosh Plus costs far too much for the memory it gives you. Atari won't do that to be malicious, but to demonstrate that the Atari ST...
And Jack Tramiel did often say that. Business is war.
Who's going to win the computer war? Stay tuned. Let's compare the Macintosh Plus with the Atari 1040 ST. Note the Atari screen is much bigger, and the Atari is in color, good for drawing proof, let's say. Both use a simple pointing click.
Ironic that
Atari's designers make it
very ironic that Apple, which created the Macintosh computer,
appearing as Atari's.
and Atari, who's a competitor to Apple
How much more does
in the
all
computer
this
market,
Atari cost?
they put the Apple logo on their computer.
One half less. Let Atari tell you how the computer business works. Atari buys chips. The competition buys chips. We buy circuitry. They buy circuitry. We buy plastic. They buy plastic. but they have these expensive attachments that add to their price. So, you can buy an ST from Atari with the same memory as the Macintosh Plus, 4 times the memory of the IBM PC-AT, for about 1/2 their price. Here's the Mac Plus from Apple, a good marketing company. So good, this computer with a 1024K memory sells for about $2,200. The AT from IBM, an even better marketing company, $4,295 for only $256K. The ST from Atari. Same memory as Apple, 4 times IBM, but half the price of Apple, 1/4 of IBM. What a terrible marketing company Atari is. Or are they?
The new Atari also has 2 great beginning computers in our XE line.
Ah, the Atari XE. I believe John, aka Games31, happens to have an Atari XE, but I can't be certain.
And the truly amazing part is that the XE costs under $100, almost 50% less than the competition. And in 1987, the new Atari will introduce a computer designed from the chips up to take advantage of a dynamic new market. An expandable computer that will have an 8088 microprocessor, 512 kilobytes of memory, built-in 5 1/4 inch disk drive, switchable clock speeds of 8 megahertz or 4.77 megahertz, and a detached keyboard with standard IBM PC XT format. All for the incredibly low starting price point of under $500. Introducing the Atari PC. This
Yeah, the Atari PC, trying to compete with the IBM PC, though I don't think that was as big a success as the XE or the ST.
It's a perfect way to offer IBM performance.
I don't even know if it was released or not.
And when it comes to video games,
Here we go.
back, and Atari's got it.
The fun is back. Oh yes, sirree. It's the 2600 from Atari.
Specifically the Atari 2600 Junior, a much smaller, scaled down version of the Atari 2600.
And Midnight Magic's mean. And one more thing, it's got a special low price, under $50. $50? Now isn't that nice? The fun is back. Oh yes, sirree. It's the 2600 from Atari.
Yeah, the 2600
As
Junior
a result of new
had a silver panel along it, same joystick. It could play the same games released before it.
And should do even better in 87 with new and exciting software, plus increased advertising support, and still for the same amazing retail price of under $50. In 1986,
Ah, the Atari 7800.
the next generation of video game systems. The new 7800.
Quite a few people fondly remember the 7800. It was much more advanced and more powerful than the 2600, and it had greater graphics than the 2600, and it wasn't as technically,
Great graphics, lifelike animation, and superb Plus, there will be other
dependent, I believe, that's the word I'm looking for, as 5200.
And ethics. And at under $100, the 7800 is one of the best home entertainment values in the world. That's why we're telling millions of consumers that the 7800 plays more games and at a much lower price per cartridge than the competition. The more game cartridges a video game system plays, the more fun it is. And the Atari 7800 plays more games than the competition, and they're about half the price. Super games like Skybox, one-on-one basketball, summer games, winter games, Karateka, Gatto, Impossible Mission, arcade classics like Pole Position, Centipede, CBS, Deluxe Asteroids, Ms. Pac-Man, Joust, Galaga, Choplifter, Robotron 2084, all 2600 games like Solaris, Midnight Magic, Football, Kung Fu Master, Moon Patrol. The Atari 7800. More games.
Plenty of games from both eras. And it came with pole position too, so that was a plus.
We've designed the ultimate high-end video game system. Introducing the Atari XE game.
Ah, here we are. This is the one that Games31 has, the XE system.
A sleekly designed game console with an incredible 64 kilobytes of memory, That's as much power as a computer has to create
And
the
it could
most
play Donkey
lifelike
Kong.
graphics and animation in it. Add to that an attachable game-playing keyboard for playing the most sophisticated arcade and computer games. Games that require keyboard interaction. And a target gun for playing the most
So
exciting
this
target
was
and shooting
supposed to be their the competition for the NES, because it has a zapper gun.
adventure games, strategy games, and
Yeah,
arcade
because
classics.
in the 80s, Nintendo was everywhere.
Comes with Flight Simulator 2, Missile
First
Command,
appeared in
and a
1985,
great target
boomed in
game,
86,
all
boomed even
included.
bigger in 87,
And hundreds of
and the
XE
XE system was meant to
XL
compete with it.
cartridges are playable on the new game system. And if the serious gamer wants to play disc-based software, an XE disc drive is available separately. We're telling the exciting XE game system story with two hard-hitting, memorable 30-second television commercials.
Introducing the new Atari XE video game system. The only game system that teaches you to fly. It comes with Flight Simulator 2 and a keyboard to play many advanced computer games. But that's not all. You can pilot your Atari through hundreds of other exciting games, because it also comes with a target gun and the great game Blastum. And it plays the most challenging joystick games, like Missile Command. The new Atari XE video game system, the only one that has it all. This is the Nintendo video game system.
The
It plays
NES.
50 games. This is the new Atari XE system. It plays hundreds of
Yeah,
games, and only
they were
Atari
definitely
comes with a
trying to
real
compete with the
joystick and
NES
Missile
with this
Command.
thing.
Both have guns.
But
Only Atari
the
comes
NES
with
proved
target
that fun
game
wins
graphics.
out.
Nintendo has a toy robot, but only Atari gives you a keyboard for playing advanced computer games.
Fun wins out, even though Rob did its job earlier and was relegated to closets after more great games came out for the NES.
But we've saved the best for last. Everything you see here is available to the consumer for around $150. The XE game system. Another Atari breakthrough. New products, new prices, new promotions. It's all part of the new Atari and our continuing commitment to provide the world with the best products at the lowest possible prices. The new Atari. We're back, and better than ever.
Alright, not bad. Well, that was 1987 CES. Hopefully we'll get to 88 CES or further down the line. Really excited when we get to E3, though. But thank you for watching, and don't forget, E3 2021 is going to be online this June, and I look forward to seeing what's going on. I'm hoping to see some announcements for games I'm excited for, like Skull and Bones, but we'll save that for when E3 comes around. So until then, happy gaming, and I'll see you all next time.